Imagine a world where the RMS Titanic completed its maiden voyage without a hitch. The grand ship, a symbol of human ingenuity, gliding majestically into New York Harbor, its passengers reveling in the luxury and excitement of a new era in travel. What if the tragedy that claimed over 1,500 lives had never occurred? The impact would have rippled through history. Maritime laws would have evolved differently, perhaps delaying the safety reforms that followed the disaster. The public's perception of ocean travel might have remained untainted, fueling an era of unprecedented transatlantic voyages. Culturally, the Titanic's successful journey could have inspired a wave of artistic expression, celebrating human achievement rather than mourning loss. Geopolitically, the ship's safe arrival might have altered alliances and trade routes, shifting the balance of power in the early 20th century. In this alternate reality, the Titanic stands not as a monument to tragedy, but as a beacon of hope and progress, forever changing the course of history. What a different world we might have known. Imagine a world where the Titanic had never sunk. The implications are staggering. Maritime laws would have evolved differently, perhaps prioritizing safety over speed, leading to a more cautious approach in shipbuilding. Technological advancements in navigation and communication might have accelerated, reshaping the very fabric of travel. Economically, the shipping industry could have flourished, altering trade routes and global markets. Culturally, the Titanic would have become a symbol of triumph rather than tragedy, influencing art, literature, and even the way we perceive human ambition. Politically, the ripple effects could have shifted alliances and power dynamics, as nations learned from its success rather than its failure. This alternate timeline serves as a poignant reminder of how fragile our achievements are, and how history can pivot on a single event. The Titanic disaster in 1912 was not just a maritime tragedy. It had profound implications for the course of history, particularly concerning World War I. Imagine if influential passengers, industrialists, and financiers had survived. Their connections and resources could have shaped diplomatic relations and perhaps even delayed the war's outbreak. Consider the U.S. response to global conflicts. The sinking of the Lusitania in 1915 was pivotal in drawing America into the war. If the Titanic had completed its voyage, could the U.S. have reacted differently to subsequent maritime tragedies? Moreover, the Titanic's sinking spurred advancements in maritime safety and technology. Had it survived, would the urgency for anti-submarine innovations have been lessened, potentially altering naval strategies in both world wars? The ripple effects of that fateful night extend far beyond the icy waters of the Atlantic, influencing the very fabric of international relations and military preparedness. The Titanic has long been a symbol of tragedy, but imagine if it had survived its maiden voyage. Would it still hold the same legendary status? Without the disaster, the Titanic might have been celebrated as a marvel of engineering, a beacon of human achievement. Instead of tales of loss and heroism, we could have seen a cultural icon that inspired art and literature, reflecting the optimism of the early 20th century. Consider how our understanding of tragedy would shift. The Titanic disaster shaped our collective memory, influencing how we perceive loss and resilience. If it had arrived in New York unscathed, would we view other historical tragedies like Pearl Harbor or Hiroshima through a different lens? The narrative of human struggle and survival might have evolved, leaving us with a vastly different cultural legacy. The Titanic's fate was not just a maritime disaster. It was a pivotal moment that defined our understanding of tragedy itself. The Titanic was already a marvel before it even set sail, poised to become a symbol of luxury and innovation. Imagine if it had successfully crossed the Atlantic. Its legacy would rival that of the Eiffel Tower, embodying early 20th century progress. The White Star Line, devastated by the tragedy, could have solidified its dominance in luxury travel, inspiring fierce competition among shipping companies to create ever more opulent vessels. Moreover, the survival of prominent passengers like Isidor Straus and John Jacob Astor IV could have dramatically altered the course of history. Their influence in business and politics might have reshaped industries and cultural landscapes, leaving a lasting mark on the 20th century. The Titanic's maiden voyage was not just a journey. It was a pivotal moment that, had it succeeded, could have transformed our world in ways we can only speculate about today. The implications are staggering. Maritime laws would have evolved differently, perhaps prioritizing passenger safety far sooner. Technological advancements in shipbuilding might have accelerated, pushing the boundaries of innovation. Economically, the ripple effects could have transformed industries, altering trade routes and global markets. Culturally, the Titanic's survival might have shifted our perceptions of luxury travel, making it more accessible and perhaps even democratizing the experience. And think about politics. Would the tragedy have influenced the course of global relations? This alternate timeline invites us to reflect on how a single event can shape history in ways we can scarcely imagine. The Titanic's legacy serves as a poignant reminder of our fragile human achievements and the unpredictable nature of our past.